Hey, what's going on, RC drivers? I'm up in Kent, Connecticut today at the Bowles Bridge area along the Housatonic River, and we are driving the SCX6 some more. We're gonna do a little trail crawling today, maybe some rock crawling as well. And I'm not doing well driving this through the monitor of the camera. There we go, there it is. So yeah, we're just gonna have some more fun with this rig today, challenge it, and enjoy the fall foliage as well. It's gonna be great. All right, time to have some fun. take a look at that view. Isn't that awesome? And the SCX6, that thing is awesome too. I've been driving it for probably about 2 hours now, and this thing is just so much fun to drive. So different of an experience too. Watch, here's some drag braking action. Look at a nice slow crawl down this hill. If I roll this thing, it's gonna go into that water. I've been in the water actually. This thing's waterproof. I've tested that. But this thing has been a blast. All right, so what should we talk about here? Watch this. This is a cool spot. We can just get this tire up on this rock a little bit. Oh no, I caught a fender that time. There we go. Just muscle through it. Give it a little throttle. Boom, there we go. I think I'm in second gear actually. All right, back in first gear for crawling. All right, so the steering on here. The steering, it gets a little soft after a while. Like I said, I've been driving for 2 hours and it gets soft. So that's full steering throw right now. You could just kind of see the servo catching up. So like full turn, you can just see it kind of slow down there. So that's one, thing. If you're just trail driving this thing, I think you're gonna be fine. But once you start really challenge this thing in the rocks, that servo, I think, heats up and just kind of slows down, gets sluggish. So one thing to be aware of. The other thing too is you might hear a click here and there, and that's because I got the front end bound up in some rocks and I heard a gear click. And I think I chipped a tooth on something in there. So I don't think anybody's done that yet. I managed to do it. Now the tire roll is pretty cool in some respects, but when you're turning, it does kind of become a bit of an issue if it rolls too much. I'm gonna go through this section over here. This is fun over here. Can I just get this tire up? There we go. I do like how the tires wrap around the rocks. Even just kind of wraps around the rim sometimes when you get this thing caught up in gaps. But look at that slow crawl. That speed controller is pretty dialed. See if we can find another cool spot over here. I got to get away from the fall so you guys could hear it. They're pretty loud. This thing has been a blast. Look at that, through the water. I got this thing soaked. Went up to the headlights, which they don't recommend. You're supposed to stay axle deep. I went headlight deep, but let's go over here. This is a cool little crawl up. And get down to the bottom. We'll crawl up this thing, show you guys how capable it is. Check out this view, isn't that awesome? Just love getting out. Cool fall day. All right, I'll come up this spot right here. This is pretty gnarly. There's that servo, just kind of sluggish. So you gotta do K-turn down there, but here we go. It's a monster. Look at this thing. No problem. Nice and slow, scale looking. Love the articulation. All right, gotta do a fun spot. I was rocking this puddle over here before with this truck. Put it in second gear. You can switch if you're going really slow. In the review, my first review, I mentioned you got to come to a stop. Excuse me. You got to come to a stop to switch gears, but you don't. You could do a really slow roll and switch the gears, but you don't want to switch them at high. All right, ready? I'm gonna go bomb this thing. Yeah. Oh, there's that little click too. I'll have to check out what that is later when we wrap this thing up. Look at it. This is very controllable. Now I'm in first, just switched it back down. We come up these rocks here. Look at that, right up and over. I haven't been able to do that with a 10 scale truck in that spot. So one thing is you may have to find a new spot to crawl, just like when RC crawling started. It's these are trails that are available to everybody, so you just got to find the right spot for this new rig, and that's what I did. This spot here has been perfect for it. And actually over here, this is where I got hung up and clicked that gear. Look at that thing. It wants to roll. The gravity wants it to roll, I should say, but it is planted. Maybe it could use a little bit of weight in the front. Maybe overdrive gears would have been cool. There's that click again. Sorry. But man, that thing looks good. I'm sure we're gonna see other bodies for it. Like I said in the review video, they're gonna have body mounts for it. And to me, that says there are going to be other body options. So for those of you that are not a Jeep fan, don't worry, it's probably coming. This is a cool rig. I think it's really going to start a trend here. This one is a lot different than anything we've seen before in the large scale world. And I like what, I think Axial did a good job basing this off of, you know, a rig that's capable, that we know is capable. All right, guys, that's it for now. Let's head back to the workshop and wrap up this, this follow-up video. All right, drivers, just want to do a little performance recap here. When I first reviewed the SCX6, I did a lot of flat trailing with it through dirt, over dirt mounds and stuff. And although it looked cool, it looked scale, it was a lot of fun, it didn't really challenge the truck. So I wanted to do a follow-up video. That's this video where I really put this thing through the paces. And that riverbank there along the Housatonic River was the perfect spot to test this because there was a lot of rock ledges and stuff to go over. And this truck is really capable. It is still a really fun driving experience. And I was impressed with what this thing can crawl. Some of the 10 scale trucks that I've brought there aren't able to clear some of the obstacles. This thing did it without issue. Yes, it's got a lot bigger of a stance to it, a lot more ground clearance, a lot more weight behind it, but I really like how smooth the throttle is with this. I think the suspension is set up well out of the box, maybe a tad underdamped. I liked it. I like to adjust my driving style to suit the need of the vehicle. And I was able to really get into this truck and enjoy driving it. So I'm still a huge fan of this rig. It's just a really exciting driving experience. But there's a couple things that I do want to point out. And one of them is the steering servo. So once you start driving this thing for a longer period of time, you'll kind of notice a little bit of fade in torque. It really just gets soft. It doesn't fail, like gears don't blow out or anything like that. The servo doesn't die. It just gets soft. So if you are really gonna go and challenge this rig, drive it beyond just trail stuff, you're probably going to want a better servo for this. And I'd check out Spectrum or High Tech or Reef servos. They all have, you know, really good servos that will fit in here, and that's just something to consider. The other thing is the tires are still a bit soft, and I noticed it a lot more while I was driving on the rocks and stuff. This thing, when I was descending hills through a turn, the tire would just roll and it would just kind of push out, and that coupled with the soft steering feel really made this truck drive out wide sometimes beyond the line I was looking to hit with it. So again, just some things that I want to point out to you so you are aware of it when you do go and drive one of these things, if you do. Finally, I was able to finally break something on it, and after talking with Axial, I think I was the first one to do it. I did get this thing bound up, not intentionally, and didn't notice that it was bound up because I was filming, and when I pulled the throttle to get this thing up and over a rock, I heard a couple of clicks, and one of them was a really bad click, and I broke a tooth off the ring gear. So you guys heard some clicking in some of the video there, and I was able to break it. And so that's something I'm gonna have to go and fix at some point because I've actually still been driving it with that broken tooth on there. I only hear it click once in a while, so I think I really had this thing bound up in order to do that. So just, again, be careful with your drive. But this is still a really cool rig. It's a different driving experience. It is a fun driving experience. You do need to find the right spots to go and run it. So maybe your usual running spot may not be suited for this. So I don't know, it's a new adventure. We all had to start driving these things somewhere when they were 10 scale vehicles. Now we're gonna have to find cool new spots for larger scale vehicles like this, but it is a blast. So much fun. All right, let me know what you think of this rig in the comments section below. What parts would you like to see come out for it? I think I'd like to see an overdrive gear and some brass, and maybe some aftermarket tires, but I can't wait to drive this thing some more. All right, thanks for watching the follow-up video. Hit that subscribe button and notifications bell if you haven't done so already. Throw this video a like. We'll see you back soon for some more RC driver videos.